Where he be now? Tony V now. Where he be now? He's winning tournaments. He's winning golf tournaments. He's got that monkey off his back.
Get off my back, you monkey. Get off my back, you monkey. Tony V now. Tony V now. Hey, Tony V now. Woo!
Get off my back.
Get off my back. What's up, golf addicts? It's the Tour Junkies. We're fired up. Tony Finau finally won him a big one. You know what I mean? This is the BMW Championship 2021 DraftKings and betting discussion. We'll get to that here in just a second. David Barnett here, your host. Pat Perry with me as well. We're going to have a fun show tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm getting lubed up, Pat, on some Wild Leap vodka.
Oh.
And it's I made a little mixture, a little concoction tonight. No ice. It's just so it's going to be good.
Let me tell you something, DB.
Yeah.
I got something to tell you.
Okay.
I'm doing something on this show that I have not done this entire year. Now, I don't want it to sound like I'm breaking some sort of New Year's resolution or something, because I didn't have this as a resolution, but I've just been sticking to beer on the podcast. That's pretty much what I've done all year long.
Yes.
Maybe you noticed that.
Yes, I have.
This evening, I'm drinking vodka. I'm drinking Wild Leap vodka tonight. You know, DB, I got my big draft weekend coming up this weekend. Yeah, we talk about this. It's 4 days of just debauchery, and I got to prepare myself for that because I have to take it to a new level for that. And I can't just be drinking beer and sipping on beer. I got to get the vodka in me tonight. And so that's what I got.
Yeah, like a lot of these golfers trying to peak for the playoffs. I get it, man. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Props to you for that. As always, we're presented to you by Fantasy National Golf Club. FantasyNational.com/TJ is where you go to sign up. If you haven't done that already, you're a loser. Okay. If you're betting on golf in any capacity, playing DraftKings, whatever it is you're doing, buddies league, season long league, one and done, doesn't matter. FantasyNational.com has all the stats, data, course history, form information, everything you need to get it done. We've been using them for like 4 years now. They're trusted friends, and it's a trusted source. And they license everything from the PGA Tour, so you know it's good. And if you go to FantasyNational.com/TJ, get 20% off any membership level that you choose. You can try it weekly. You can try it monthly. And if you like it, you can upgrade it to the monthly or the annual membership, and you still get to keep the 20% off for the lifetime of the account as long as you tell them the Tour Junkies sent you. So head over to FantasyNational.com/TJ and check it out. Pat. First of all, we have to wish a hearty congratulations to RJ Miller, the 2021 Nut Hut Listener League champion of the world. RJ Miller time. Woo! Very, very well done, RJ. You, sir, you had a huge lineup. I mean, it was, RJ almost took down the PME contest. He did. Yes, thank you, Wes. They do. Yeah. RJ almost took down the PME contest. He had a great week, killer lineup, had some Cam Smith in there. Would have been a bigger week had he had Cam Smith won. But RJ won pretty handily the Nut Hut Listener League finals, and therefore he is earning himself a trip to either Augusta or Savannah, and you and I will meet him at that destination. We will play some golf. We will probably have a few adult beverages, a good meal or two, and have a great time. It's a VIP trip for old RJ, and it's all expenses paid from the TJs. I wish he lived a little closer. He's in freaking Sacramento, so the plane ride is a little bit more costly. So thanks a lot for that, RJ. We'll be flying you Spirit Airlines. So I hope you don't get punched in the face, or I just hope you make it safely whenever that does happen. But RJ, good dude, good member of the Nut Hut, very funny member of the Nut Hut. So I'm excited about it, and shout out to RJ. And listen, if you're sitting here going, man, I missed out, that sucks. The thing is, we're going to restart the Listener League when the new PGA Tour season starts, which is in like 4 minutes. So no, it's not 4 minutes. It's only like 2 weeks for the Fortinet. What is it? Have you seen the name change of it? The sponsor, it's like the Fortinet Championship.
I paid attention to that.
It's something weird, but it's right after East Lake. We have 4 legs of the season that we break out. So if you win a week or if you win a leg, you get an entry into the finals at the Northern Trust every year. And RJ got it done. So, if you missed out, it gets to start right back over. You just got to go join the Nut Hut. So go to tourjunkies.com, click on Golby's Nut Hut, and for $10 a month, or just go ahead and pay $90 for the year, you get to be a part of the community. You get to have a lot of fun on the Discord server that we have, meet a lot of cool people, funny people. We've got a great connection in there. And actually, if you're like, oh, golf's kind of winding down, screw it, man, I'm going to focus on the NFL. Another reason to join the Nut Hut, because we have these threads in the Nut Hut for baseball, NBA, UFC, football, gaming, all kind of other channels in there. And we got a lot of people winning a lot of money. Pat, I saw somebody in the Nut Hut Hall of Fame thread won like $70K on baseball the other night.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. Some of the different channels that we have in there. It's all part of it. A lot of good insight. There's a lot of folks, a lot of sharp people in the Nut Hut that contribute outside of just golf. Yeah, I mean, we got Nita in there.
Nita's in there doing
killing it with the MMA and stuff and basketball. I mean, she'll post all her notes. I can't even believe all the stuff she comes up.
Nita does MMA too.
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh, I didn't know that. There's just a lot of sharp folks in there. It's the best $90 you'll spend all year. I mean, give me a break. So get in there, even though golf season's ending. Get a leg up on the competition, because this first leg of the season with all these week events, you're going to have not a lot of competition. That's the best way to get you a spot in the finals and a chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip to either Champions Retreat in Augusta with me and Pat, which is my home course. It hosts the Augusta National Women's Amateur every year. It's a beautiful spot, 27 holes, 9 by Player, 9 by Nicholas, 9 by Palmer. You've got, or you can go to Savannah, to Pat's place at the Landings, where they have 5 golf courses. Not one, not two, not six.
Actually, 6.
6 golf courses, including Deer Creek, which hosts a web.com event every year, where my boy Sam Burns got his first web.com victory a couple years ago. It's a great spot. There's like 70 billion restaurants in there. You can see Pat and his gated community element. So you got a lot of great options in there. You just got to get in the Nut Hut. That's the first step. And shout out to RJ for getting it done. And shout out to Tony Finau. I mean, we're going to sit on this for a second. Like the finish to the Northern Trust, albeit on a Monday, and it was annoying, and the golf course was sopping wet. Man, it was an incredible finish. And, poor Cam Smith. I mean, the drive on the playoff hole was just like, I mean, it looked like something I would hit off the tee. It was OB from the moment it left the club face, and it was pretty much done after that. So Finau closed the door. It's great to see him get one, a big one. He won the Puerto Rico Open. It's been 5 years, and everybody talks about, can he get it done? Can he do it?
I think 8 second place finishes since then. So.
8 runner-ups, my Lord. And everybody, like, I don't know about you, but a guy like that who's so likable and really talented, but can't seem to close the door. After a while, you almost feel embarrassed to pick him. You're almost like, I like Tony Finau at 40-1, because you just feel like all the people on Twitter are going to be like, you dummy, he can't close the door, and you're afraid to put him on the betting card. You're afraid to do all these things, but, and that's dumb, because guys don't win until they win, until they win the big one. And Finau finally did it. And, man, it was fun to watch. I met him in person back in 2018 at his foundation event. He's as real, as genuine, as kind as he appears to be on TV. He is 100% that and more in person. Just a great dude. His foundation does a lot. Really pumped to see him win, Pat. What'd you think?
Yeah, I was very excited to see him win. It was definitely a little too easy for him. I mean, Cam Smith came in there in the playoff and just, throws one way out of bounds and almost hit a second one out of bounds. And but I agree, Finau is such a likable guy. I think not just by fans, but also by other tour players. So you see already, I mean, just even though the win was barely 2 hours ago, a lot of tour players tweeting about how excited they are for him. Vaults him up to number 1 in the FedEx Cup standings, got him into solidly into Ryder Cup right now at the 6th slot. So a lot of things with this win are helping Finau. So
I kind of think the jump in the FedEx Cup was kind of ridiculous. I think he went from 20 something.
Well, I mean, that's how they do it. That's how they do.
And then all of a sudden,
points.
first, yeah, but I mean, you look at it, it's like, why he shouldn't be ahead of Jon Rahm. As good as Jon Rahm has played all season long, you look at it and think, man, that's kind of nuts that he's ahead of Jon Rahm, who had this whole tournament in the bag all week long until he didn't. But it was fun to see. It was satisfying to watch Tony get that done. Although I know RJ, we were all pulling for RJ to possibly take down the PME contest with Cam Smith winning, but it is what it is. But the bigger contest, Pat, within the contest was the onion bet. Last week I had to pay off a bet, and I told the story. My kid, my 11-year-old, was like, "Dad, do you ever win bets against Mr. Pat because you shaved you had to wax your legs, you did this, and I had to say, son, yes, you just don't see." I talked about that last week. You just don't see Pat do it, but yes, I do occasionally win some. I've definitely lost more than I've won, but last week we spun the wheel. We still don't have a great name for that. So if you're in the YouTube comments, give us another one. I've looked at all the comments. I've looked at all the tweets. I got a few ideas in here that are okay, but I still don't feel like we've landed on the one. So we need a name for the betting wheel. Put that in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, or tweet us. But we spun the wheel, and the loser has to take a nice, healthy chunk bite out of a raw onion, chew it up, and swallow. And I was all in on Kevin Na last week. I pounded him hard, and I was scared. I told you I was scared. And I beat the Kevin Na drum. And you said you hated it, and you liked Cameron Tringali, and we went straight up. Cameron Tringali and Kevin Na, and it was back and forth. I mean, this was a 8-round fight taken to the 8th round with guys exchanging blows, Na winning 1 round, then Tringali's up, and then Na's up, going back and forth. It was the contest within the contest. Even people in the Nut Hut were talking about it. But Kevin Na takes it down, winning the bet by 3 shots, finishing T8 at 13 under. Now, before we get into that,
this is another reason I can't stand Kevin Na. If I don't need any other reasons, this is another one. Freaking Kevin Na.
You know what though, Pat? You made a fatal mistake, and I'm going to call you out for it. And I
don't agree with this. I know where you're talking about. I don't agree with this. I would need a listener to actually say if this was a mistake.
Oh, we can have the listeners tell us, and they will tell us. Pat made a massive error, and we talk about it from time to time on the show, and that is victory lapping way too early. Here is Exhibit A. I will put
that it that is not a victory lap.
It's on the screen. It's on the screen. It is dated. You can see the date in the Discord. This is in the Nut Hut chat on 8/19. Literally,
it just says Tringali, such a stud. I'm excited because he started off with like 4 birdies in a row.
He was like 4 under through 5. And
that's just like, that's not saying I won.
And
that's not screenshotting anything.
Stud, and then you put the onion emoticon in there, and then I reply and say, you may regret this early victory lap. And sir, you did it. You did the thing that we tell people not to do. You don't victory lap on Thursday. You don't talk about the chalk bomb on Thursday when the chalk bomb's in the top 10, like Scotty Scheffler was last week, but ended up finishing 43rd, and he was like 17% owned, and we don't hear anything on Twitter. Congrats to you, Ben. A little good call there on Scotty Scheffler. I liked Scotty, but it is what it is. Producer Sam brings up another good point. At 2:07 on Thursday in our group text.
It's an announcement. It's an announcement. It's not the victory lap.
Okay. In our group text on Thursday at 2:07, producer Sam says he texted, quote, Tringali with an exclamation point. So Pat victory lapping in the Nut Hut on
Sam,
threads.
let me.
That is not what you do, Pat. You don't do it.
Let me tell y'all something. I needed to go back to this. Sam, I texted Sam. Hang on.
You just don't do it, man. You can't even come close to doing it. You don't even tiptoe on the line of early touting it on Thursday. You just don't. If anything, you try to reverse it, which you tried to do to me this afternoon. And I said, no, stop.
I did try to do that.
You can't do that, man. You just can't. We've been doing this long enough.
Anyway, yeah, I'll give you some of it. Maybe it was excitement because he did start off like 4 under through 5 holes. It was a pretty damn good start. Sam, I can't find the text, but this is just another reason that I feel like you are against me always, Sam. You're always against me. You always save all the video clips that you clip out, all the screenshots that you come up with are all you. I mean, you are not an equal opportunity DB or Pat. You really
They're called highlights, Pat.
They're highlights.
Yeah, they're highlights.
I like Charlie Oliver, my boy Charlie, who was in the chat last week. You know, Pat was peacocking prematurely, and he definitely was. He was. You were, Pat. You gotta admit it, and it's okay. We just gotta learn from our mistakes. As touts, we have to learn from our mistakes.
I'll start to keep a tabs of your mistakes, some receipts, which happen a lot.
Okay. All right. Well, let's
like taking bets and then not actually playing the bet.
That was done accidentally once. Okay, give me a break. Let's see it. Let's see it, Pat. How'd the onion selection go down?
So, yeah,
I am so glad I don't have to do this.
So I picked out an onion today at the grocery store. Here it is.
Yeah.
Here's the onion.
Is that a Vidalia onion?
You know, I was hoping for a Vidalia onion, but it didn't really say Vidalia. But that was really what I wanted.
Okay.
So it's peeled nicely, and
here we go.
Here we go.
God, that's so gross. Sam, what are you doing? Okay, there we go. You're handling this way better than I would handle it. Oh, no. He went back for seconds. What? Are you kidding me? What? What is going on? Pat. Oh, my God. Dude, old men are disgusting. Old farts are just disgusting. I can't even believe it. That's disgusting.
There you go.
Dylan says his grandpa eats onions like that. Was that, dude? I seriously was like really sweating doing that. And you, I gotta say, you really handled that. You really showed that onion who's boss. God, I can taste it myself. I'm not even doing it. Woo. Ugh. Did you swallow it though?
Yeah.
Okay, you spit some of it out.
I might have bitten off a little more than I could chew there.
That's so gross, man. All right, well, way to go. Way to pay off the onion bet.
It wasn't a bad onion.
It wasn't?
It wasn't a bad onion, but
yeah. How long does it take to get that out of your system?
I'm a little worried at how that's going to happen for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if your pee or your poop is going to smell like that.
Well, I'm not going to get in bed with the wife and give her a big fat kiss after the show. I know that. Yeah. But look, I'll admit, little peacocking earlier, as someone mentioned in the chat.
Yep.
I learned from my mistakes and lost the bet, whatever. F you, Kevin Na, again, giving me another reason to hate you.
Yeah. Yep. Wow. How about your brother in here? The 2-minute lineup from last week helped me win $500 in the $100 single entry.
Yeah, he did.
Wow. Look at that. All he has to do is listen to the last 2 minutes. No, that is not what you need to do, Chris.
That is Chris.
That's terrible advice.
DirecTV, you're not being DirecTV right now.
Well, his DirecTV status is up in the air anyway. We've been talking about that. It's kind of up in the air. I'm not sure that it's still there. Let's talk about this. You know, the Ryder Cup factor. The Ryder Cup's coming up. That's been discussed ad nauseum by a lot of folks, and it's going around the Twitterverse as well. Tony Finau bumps up to number 6 in the Ryder Cup standings. And I think in terms of guys who are, I think obviously that locks in Tony Finau. He played in the last one. He's there. I think the guys that are, well, then you have the Patrick Reed situation, which apparently he has bilateral pneumonia. He withdrew from the event minutes before lineup lock on Thursday for the Northern Trust, citing an ankle injury, and then he's been hospitalized with the bilateral pneumonia. So hopefully that gets better for old Patrick. Not really sure if it's COVID related or anything like that. I don't know if that's been said, but anyway.
I don't, it has not been said, but who knows?
Yeah. Reed is currently in the 10 spot for the Ryder Cup bubble. And I mean, if he doesn't play this week, which I think there's a strong chance he doesn't, he may have already withdrawn. I don't know. He probably has, but he's got to play. I mean, if he doesn't play at Eastlake, he's really going to be in trouble, I think. But he's currently 10th in the Ryder Cup standings. You got Xander and Jordan at 7 and 8. I think they're a lock. I think they're a lock. I think the top 6 currently are locked. So then that leaves, that leaves 4 spots between, I think, Harris English, Patrick Reed, pending health, Patrick Cantlay, Daniel Berger, Webb Simpson, Scotty Scheffler, Billy Horschel, Jason Kokrak, Sam Burns, Kevin Kisner kind of on the outside looking in. Phil Mickelson at 19. If we put Phil on the team as a player, I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be happy at that.
No. If we do that, we are saying we are not trying to win the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, that is what we're saying. By the way, AC confirms Reed has withdrawn officially from the BMW. Thank you, AC. He's always on the ins and outs. AC is. Yeah, I think it's it's going to be a close run. Obviously, Burns, Kokrak, Billy Horschel, Kiz, those guys really got to have a great week here, and if they make it to East Lake, they got to make a good run. But I feel like Harris English has done enough to get there. I think Webb is obviously one with experience on the Ryder Cup. He's right there at the 13 spot. Berger's had a tremendous year. Cantlay's got the experience. So some of these guys may be pretty much locked, but I do think a guy like Scotty Scheffler could make some noise. Kokrak winning twice this year. He needs to have a couple good weeks here. He's struggled the last couple. So it's very interesting, the Ryder Cup landscape at the moment. In terms of anything else to add there on Team USA for now?
I agree with you. I think Scheffler definitely could make some noise the rest of these playoffs. Well, we got 2 weeks, but we'll see. What, you didn't mention Horschel at all?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, he's on the outside.
I was trying to move the onion because the onion is causing some tearing action, and I'm trying to get it further away from me. So
yeah. On the Euro side, I don't. There's 3 names playing this week that are in the Ryder Cup discussion, and that would be Victor Hovland at 12, Westwood at 13, and Shane Lowry at 15. Now, the way the Europeans have their points set up, it's kind of wacky. I mean, Bernd Wiesberger is currently 7th. Victor Perez is 8th. Guido, God love him, I like him a lot. He's 10th. Thomas Dietrich 11th. I don't think there's any reason Victor Hovland should. I don't think any of those guys should be chosen over Victor Hovland. So I feel like Hovland is in, even if he sucks this week or next week. I think he's in. I think it comes down to Westwood and Lowry at 13 and 15, especially, so they got this week. They're both in the field for the BMW to do something to get themselves further up the ranking here. And Westwood probably looking at his last possible chance of being a player.
I think Westwood's going to end up on that team.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. I just feel like, he's gonna get. I think the European Tour is going to do something that the U.S. team would normally do. Is they're going to kind of give him sort of like the old man nod. He's playing well the last year or so. He's right there on the bubble. We're going to put him on the team, and it's probably going to be a mistake. Yeah, but I have a feeling that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. Well, those are some names to watch, I think, this week in this event with the BMW, the Lowry, Westwood, Hovland on the Euro side. Maybe more so Lowry and Westwood in terms of Ryder Cup rankings, but that's definitely something to pay attention to. All right, Pat, let's get into this, man. Let's talk about this new golf course that we have, Caves Valley Golf Club in Owings Mills, Maryland, right outside of Baltimore. Pat, tell us about this new track, what we need to know.
Yeah, Caves Valley. It is a par 72. Now, you'll see a little bit of different things on the interwebs as far as what this course plays like. But if you go to the PGA Tour site, this is all official on how it's going to play this week. It is a par 72. It is 7,542 yards. There are 69 players in the field right now when you don't when you don't count Patrick Reed. It is a no-cut event, so we're kind of playing, as far as strategy-wise, similar to like a World Golf Championship or something like that. This is a Tom Fazio design. Greens are pure bent grass greens and should be rolling extremely quick. Also have bent fairways. The rough is bluegrass with some rye mixed in there, and there's some pretty tall fescue if you get it way offline here. Water is in play on 5 of the holes. The par 4s here are pretty long. 6 of them are 450 plus yards. I think this is a setup, though, when you just kind of listen to all the things that are out there right now, you look at the course, it is definitely a setup that is going to favor the Bombers. I think that the Bombers this week have a huge advantage. Fazio loves to put bunkers out in the fairways and, bunkering around the greens and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if just traditionally when you look at his courses, and if you can hit it fairly straight and long on this course, you can cut corners, you can take the bunkers out of play. It gives you a huge advantage to approach into these greens. So I am definitely going to be looking at guys who are longer off the tee and at least can hit it somewhat straight. Quail Hollow is a Fazio design. That's one that a lot of people compare this course to. Conway Farms is another course that they've played the BMW on before. Jason Day and Mark Leishman won on that course. And for the BMW, that's another one that gets a little bit of a comparison here. But I don't always like to play the architect angle, but I think when you have a new course that we haven't really seen on tour that much, I do want to look at guys that typically might play well on his courses. Good bunker players, because like I said, he likes to mold the greens and shape the greens with bunkers around them and off the fairway and make those penalizing if he can. A couple notes on this course. It has held 2 senior tour events. Both of them were majors. I think one was like a senior, maybe U.S. Open, and then a senior players championship, which they consider a major. PGA Tour doesn't consider it a player, but they do. You also had a couple NCAA championships here, including the 2005 NCAA men's champion, University of Georgia Bulldogs, of which Kevin Kisner, Chris Kirk, and I think Brendan Todd were on that team. So that doesn't really mean anything. I just wanted to say it.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at stats, obviously form, I'm looking at approach, strokes gained off the tee, putting on bent grass greens. I do think some scrambling just around these greens and bunker play, I think you can look at. But, and I think another reason to be in the Nut Hut is we should probably get some more information from some caddies on the ground, other things that we might hear. Maybe we'll hear something from Kiss, because he's played this course back. I mean, it was in 05, but so who knows? I'm not saying we will, not promising anything. I'm just saying, the Nut Hut is good for getting, especially for information on courses that we, are new on tour. The Nut Hut has been fantastic for that. So,
yeah, I sent some early feelers out already today. I haven't heard back, but maybe I'll hear back live and we'll see what we can do. Great stuff, Pat. Yeah, I agree. I think this is for sure a Bombers track. I'm excited to load up on a few Bombers that arrive here. Obviously, you can play the angle of, the 5 to 10 names just inside the top. Well, probably the 5 names just inside the top 30 and just outside the top 30 in terms of FedEx rankings. You can kind of look at that and think about, who's really got to make a move this week. Weigh that how you will. But, definitely looking at form. I did pay attention to a number of players that this last week at the Northern Trust lost some strokes putting, but hit it really well tee to green. As we know, that can turn around quickly. So I'll be discussing those guys here shortly. And you got a number of guys that missed the cut at the Northern Trust, or if you're Louis, just didn't play the Northern Trust and may have gotten some early looks at Caves Valley. And maybe there's a slight advantage there. Some tour pros would tell you all they need to do, like your DJs who really oversimplify things may say, yeah, I mean, all I really got to do is see the golf course one time, and I kind of know what I need to do to get there. Mm-hmm. But so you can take that how you want it. But there's definitely some names that missed the cut, or and are going to be in the field this week that might have gotten over there to the outside the Baltimore area to take a look at this golf course, as opposed to the guys that had to finish up today and they get there on short rest and with limited time to check it out. But that's another thing to think about. Our boy, I think one thing to note too is we talked about the Patrick Reed injury. Colin Morikawa, it was heard, it was discussed last week that he actually hurt his back at the Olympics. He mentioned that before or during the tournament week this week, and then he missed the cut, and he lost strokes in every category. Which
that would have been something. Would have been nice to know.
That would have been great for somebody. Yeah. There's a lot of discussion on Twitter these days about, with the PGA Tour embracing gambling and all this kind of stuff, how, the way they handle injury reporting is dreadful. But it's tough. It's complicated, right? These guys are independent contractors. They're not owned by a team or, it's different than the NFL or NBA. But it definitely sucks when something like that happens, especially with a high-profile player like Colin Morikawa. I mean, to see him lose strokes on approach this week is pretty shocking. So clearly he is not feeling well. Now, I'm sure that he'll be in the press room before they lock and load on Thursday morning this week, and I'm sure he'll be asked about it. So we'll see what he has to say, and you can either believe it or you can fade. There you go. So definitely some injuries to pay attention to. Speaking of injuries, Pat, we've talked about it the last few weeks. You got everyday aches and pains from exercise, injuries, getting older, just stress. You don't want to miss any more, golf. You don't want to not be able to touch your toes, or as you say, you can do a split, which I don't believe that still. We'll find out about that. But that's why a leading health clinic in Seattle invented 100% drug-free relief factor with 4 key ingredients to activate your metabolic pathways that support your body's natural response to pain and inflammation. Mr. Morikawa could use some Relief Factor, I'm sure. And now you got tens of thousands of people using Relief Factor. We've been using it, helping me limber up, helping me, get the creaks and cracks out before I go to the gym in the mornings. I don't know what it helps Pat do, but maybe do his splits. You know what I mean? Our friend John says he's had some relief in his shoulders and his knees, and he can golf and he can go fishing without any pain. So that's Relief Factor. If you got those everyday aches and pains, Relief Factor is 100% drug-free and designed to be taken every day so you can get out and stay out of pain. And the only way to know if it's going to work for you is to do what we did and try it for yourself. The best way to do that is to order the 3-week quick start. It's discounted to just $19.95 plus shipping and handling, so it can be easier to try it for yourself. Go to relieffactor.com/Tour Junkies, all one word, and order a 3-week quick start. You'll be glad you did. Again, to claim your 3-week quick start for $19.95, go to relieffactor.com/Tour Junkies. Get your body lubed up. Get the body lube going, and get your metabolic pathways doing what they were designed to do. Because if they're not doing that, what are they even doing?
Yeah.
Producer Sam, do we have odds anywhere, prices anywhere? Last minute check. I think right now on DraftKings, let's see. We're recording this on Monday night. It's about 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Let's see. Nope, no DFS pricing. Can't find odds anywhere, so we'll just have to wing it. Nope, not yet. All right. So here we go. Let's just talk through some names. Let's just go to the FedEx Cup rankings.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
69 players in the field, as you mentioned. There is no cut this week. I can't remember if you said that or not, but that's
yeah,
something
I did.
Okay.
By the way, let's talk about some names that aren't in the field that we don't have to worry about. Because I thought about this.
Oh, good.
I don't have to worry about Matthew Fitzpatrick because he finished 73. Don't have to worry about Fitzy. So you know what? Take that stress off your shoulders. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another one you can take this stress off your shoulders. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a guy that didn't make it that I think a lot of people like to play, and that's Matthew Wolff. He finished 71st. Matthew Wolff. You don't have to worry about Matthew Wolff
I bet him last week. He really had an early exit.
Yeah. Here's another guy. Another guy that you don't have to worry about this week, DB. Mm-hmm. Terrell Hatton.
Yep, I had him too.
74th. You don't have to worry about him.
I had 2 players in my entire player pool miss the cut.
Yeah.
In my entire player pool. Terrell Hatton and Sergio Garcia in my DFS player pool. Those are the 2. And I had them everywhere.
Let me tell you another guy you don't have to worry about this week.
Who?
Okay? Because a lot of people, how many picks do you think I've made this whole year?
I don't know.
Like, how many, every week? 100? How many players have I picked this whole entire year?
I don't know, but we keep track of it, so we'd have to look.
There is one player that for some reason or another was so polarizing as a pick that I got more shit this week or last week than ever before. But you don't have to worry about him this week. Matthew Wallace. You don't have to worry about Matt Wallace, okay?
Yep.
For some reason,
Yeah, you did.
God knows why. Everybody gave me a bunch of shit for that one pick.
You did get a lot of heat for that.
I don't know. Do y'all realize how many picks I make? Do we need to go over that? My God. Anyway, so you don't have to worry about Matthew Wallace this week. There's others we could go in, but I just wanted to go through a few that did not make this field that we don't need to worry about.
I'm grateful. Maybe put that in the chat on YouTube. Put in the chat who you're grateful you don't have to make a decision on this week. I'm grateful that it's Adam Scott and Henrik Norlander. I don't have to make a decision on either one of those guys. I wish
Adam Scott is one. How about what the hell he did?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was cruising into the cut and then just said, nope, screw it. My season's done.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm out. But it's Adam. He's got all the money he needs, man. Who cares? He doesn't care. All right, let's take a look at this. I guess let's just try to sift through the top of what the pricing and betting odds are going to be. Obviously John Rahm is going to be up there. JT, Morikawa, Bryson. I guess Louis Louis been plugging himself in the top 3 to 4 to 5 priced guys in the last few tournaments he's been in. It'll be interesting to see where they slide him in here. Now that he's back and he's rested up, hopefully he's got his mattress there in Maryland and he's doing his thing. You got Xander, Brooks is going to be up there. DJ is going to be up there. And Rory. That's probably going to be, and Morikawa. I didn't say Morikawa. We'll see how the books and the pricing factors in the Morikawa injury news. But what are we thinking about any of those guys? Where's some early leans here?
Well, I love Rory this week. I think he's going to end up being a great play. You know, he typically does play Fazio course as well. I mentioned Quail Hollow as being a possible, correlating course, and he just won there a few months ago back in May. I just think this could be a course that Rory can do really well on. So I like him. I'll be interested to see where his ownership is. I don't think it'll be that high compared. I mean, it'll be like, look, we have 70 people in this field, so it's definitely going to be a little more spread out up top. But I do like him. I'm probably going to play Usti because it's going to end up being where, there's going to be a lot of people that come off of him because he didn't play the last, week or two.
I don't know about that. I think people are still going to be on Usti.
No, we'll see.
Yeah,
he's one that I'll be looking to see where his ownership is. If it looks a little bit low and there are people that are coming off of him because, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind type thing, I may play more Usti, but he's just been so solid this year and he's a great driver of the ball. So even if he's not necessarily that long off the tee, he's so good driving the ball. I think this course would be good for him. So I'm a big fan of him this week. And then how are you gonna, I was talking to DirecTV actually about this today. John Rahm, I always, whenever he wins, I never play him, and then he's bad when I do play him. But I just feel like he's got to have a little bit of anger in him after what happened this past week. Finau and Cam Smith just played a little better at the end. But I think Rahm could be. This is a great course fit for him. I love him this week. He is going to be highly owned. I don't care. I think he's going to be the chalkiest player that I eat this week.
Guess who my favorite play? Maybe in the whole field. Favorite play. He's in this range. Probably won't bet him. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe depending on how things look, I may actually bet him. Do you have any ideas who it may be?
I will say Xander.
No.
JT.
No.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm gonna play Bryson DeChambeau. Yes, I was expecting a different reaction out of that.
I don't want it. Why? Why do you want to play Bryson?
I think Bryson is heating up, and I think he's going to eat on this golf course. He is going to eat this place like it's an Orgain protein shake made of just boobies. Like.
He's gonna drink a booby shake on this course.
Drink a booby shake. I think he is going to demolish this golf course. This week he did okay. He played okay. He lost over 2.5 strokes putting, which is, I mean, Bryson either does that or he gains 5 strokes putting. But he gained 5.15 off the tee and over 3 on approach. Now he comes to a course I think better suited for him. Give him those par 5s. Finishes right there next to Brooks this week. I think the fire is in there and he's ready to show up. I'm going to call it. I think Bryson DeChambeau wins this golf tournament. Will I bet him? I haven't bet him all year because he's usually too short. If he's in the 15, 16 to 1 or longer, I think I will. And he kind of has been. He's been lingering in there. I can't remember what he was last week, but with Rahm playing so well, Morikawa, I think he's going to be up there, and I can't wait to play him. So
that's something I've never heard you say. I can't wait to play Bryce.
I can't wait because I feel so good about it. I really do.
What if what are you going to do when Bryson totally screws you this week? How can the hate get any worse?
Oh, it can't. It can't get anywhere. If he's
you're basically, it's like buying a stock. You're buying the bottom in the mind of DB of Bryson's.
But it's not oh, this feels gross. But I got
you don't want to take a shower after this.
It doesn't feel like that. It really just feels like it feels good. Actually, I can't stand him. This doesn't mean I like him anymore. I don't. But from a gambling DFS perspective, it feels as good as it could feel, and I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. I like your
somebody needs to. So I don't know why this thought just came into my mind, but all these great people like Crazy Marcus that likes to put they can do these GIFs and things, and they create all these things. Somebody needs to put it out on Twitter of DB just giving Bryson a massage. I feel like he's like your spa play of the week. And you just love some Bryson, but you're just giving him a massage, and you're just telling Bryson.
Dude, I would never do that in a million years. I can't stand him, but I'm telling you, I feel it. I feel it this week. I think this is.
You feel it in your plums?
Yeah, it's down there. He's gonna do it this week. I believe he is.
So you mentioned Koepka real quick there in your conversation about Bryson, and I like Koepka. I like Brooks this week. I think. This is just another week that he can prove that he's the man. It's a good course fit for him. I like Brooks. So,
I like the Louis call. I think DJ is interesting. Early exit this week for the Northern Trust. He was actually pretty bad tee to green. He lost strokes everywhere. But I think it's DJ. You never know what
he did well at Congaree, the course I know you love, which is a Fazio designed also, even though he didn't win, but it was a new course, one that these players had not been on before, and he did well, and that's one reason I think DJ, because I think DJ he just doesn't think about enough things, so like some people overthink things, some people are just they're just natural. He underthinks it, meaning he just doesn't care. So he just doesn't think about enough things that could be in the way for him. And so I think that could be a good strategy this week.
I'm with you. He does. I like the. I was gonna say I like the Hideki call. I like the Hideki call. I don't know that I love the Rory play. So if I got to pick a fade here. I don't know that I'm buying the Rory play yet. The irons were very bad this week. Now he finally got the putter warmed up, but the irons were pretty rough. Now the one thing about Rory is if he wants to make it to East Lake, he's got to hang on, as he currently sits 28th in the standings. I would imagine he would like to, but I also see Rory, if he doesn't get out to a hot start, how much money does Rory have? And sitting at 28th. Do we really think he's gonna, if he doesn't get off to a hot start, okay, then I just, and he can't win or top 3, which is going to vault him up the standings. I just see him kind of mailing it in.
Well, yeah, I agree. But I mean, you look at last week, gained around the greens, gained on approach. He did lose strokes off the tee. I think though it's who knows? Maybe it just wasn't a fit for him. I like this course fit for him better, and I think he'll do better off the tee. I'd be shocked if he doesn't gain strokes off the tee this week, but we'll see.
Okay. I think that low 9K, 8K range is likely going to turn up interesting. Well, obviously, when we didn't mention Finau. I think Finau could probably find himself in that mid to upper 9K range as well. It's got to feel so good for him. We just sang a song about it, getting the monkey off his back, but it's got to feel great for him to get that done. And I actually I think could continue the run. Not saying he's going to win because Bryson's going to win, but I think he could continue the good play here. And, we'll see how it looks with ownership. Are people going to jump off the guy who won last week, or what are they going to do? What's the price going to be? But I don't know that I'd bet him to win back-to-back after getting that big monkey off the back. Now, Finau's a devout Mormon, so he's not going to be like throwing down like Kisner did last week and basically be worthless for the next 72 hours. That we don't have to worry about that. He's doing his thing. But, I like him in DFS maybe to continue, keep doing his thing. So
did you see Bryson, by the way, is going to enter that long drive contest right after the Ryder Cup?
Yes, I did. I mean, whatever.
I think he's going to get destroyed by those guys.
Maybe.
I think he is. I don't think he's going to come close.
I don't care that he's doing it. I will say that. I know No Laying Up got real bent out of shape that he was doing it. I don't care.
I don't care that he's doing it. I'm not I don't care that he's. I'll watch it. I guess if they put it on TV, maybe. I don't know, but I just think he's.
Oh, they'll put it on TV. Yeah, they'll put it on TV. By the way, when we get done with this, when we get done with our kind of early leans, we're going to do a live YouTube chat, take some questions, just a handful. So think about some stuff, throw it in the chat here in a little bit, and stick around because that's what we're going to do.
So now we're going to guess 8K.
Kind of working down. Yeah, I think the low 9, 8K possibility. I think Cam Smith's going to be up there. Jordan, old Jordan had a rough week, I think. I mean, he slipped in there and made the cut, but did not. I mean, the off the tee game was atrocious. Very, very, very bad. So I don't know about Jordan. He finished 73rd.
What the hell happened to him today?
Yeah, he
was awful.
Harris English, I'm sure, is going to be in that category. Abe Answer. My boy Sam Burns, I keep talking about him every week. Like Sam Burns has got to be in that 8K range, I think.
No way. He's probably not. I bet he's 7,900.
Maybe he will be with a strong field. Hovland is in there. He broke his putter today. Hovland's going to be in there. Let's see. Joaquin Neiman's found himself. Daniel Berger, Scotty Scheffler for sure.
Scotty's going to be in that 8K range.
Do you think Sungjae makes it to the 8K or probably not?
No, I think he's been regulated down to the 7K range.
Well, let me tell you, regulated or relegated?
Relegated.
There we go.
Relegated.
I actually really like Sungjae this week. I think I talked about him last week. Did I talk about him last week? I think I did, or maybe it was the week before. I like Sungjae this week. He lost about a stroke putting, gained 4.3 or 4.13 strokes off the tee, and almost 3 strokes on approach this week. I like where Sungjae's at right now. He's 25th in the FedEx Cup standings, so a decent week, and he hangs on, makes it to Eastlake, but he could really make a move. I like Sungjae a lot. He's a name that sticks out to me in here. Harris English, I'm just going to continue to play Harris English because he's just feeling himself right now. Sam Burns, I like that. Same thing. I don't know what to do with Hovland and his. I mean, I don't think him breaking his putter is a bad thing and getting a new one because his putter is not good typically anyway. So, although I went and looked at it, he only lost he didn't even lose a full stroke putting for the tournament. It was kind of weird. I was like, oh crap. I wasn't even paying attention. I was like, maybe he's probably lost 4 strokes putting, and he's barely lost 1. The tee to green game was fine. I guess he just got frustrated today, missing a couple short ones. But I'll go back in on Berger. I know Berger probably pissed a lot of people off. Berger lost 5.6 strokes putting this week. 5.6. Now, yes, that's awful, but that is not likely to stay. He still crushed it with his irons. Gained almost 6 strokes on approach. He is in that Ryder Cup discussion, 12th. He's still in that FedEx Cup, like 23rd range. I think this is a time to not get off the Berger bus. We stay on the Berger bus. We keep with it. I know he was frustrating, but I think we stay on Berger. And I think we do the same thing with Scheffler. Scheffler was the chalk bomb last week. Ben got that one right. Scheffler's still in that Ryder Cup discussion. He lost 3 strokes putting, but gained over 5 in ball striking this week. So I like that. I mean, I'm looking at like immediate form. Like I want to see exactly where these guys came in, because you got to stay hot and you got to ride it. And I want to see the ball striking numbers there. I don't want to take somebody who's coming into this week having a really poor ball striking week, unless it is a top echelon player with great ownership leverage and winning upside. So probably like a DJ, if you're a DJ, because he didn't hit the ball very well. But
I agree. I mean, I think I'm a big fan of Berger this week, even though I know he did kill a lot of people last week. Scheffler, I think, is going to be another good play. I like Billy Horschel. Now, I do think Horschel is going to end up in the 7K range.
He's not long enough for me.
I don't care. I think his overall game right now isn't that terrible. You look at last week's stats. He gained, putting. He gained on approach. He gained off the tee. He gained where else? Strokes gained tee. I think Horschel is. I think this could be a good week for Horschel, and nobody's going to play him. Nobody ever wants to play Horschel. Never.
No, I hate playing him.
He typically does. I mean, I don't know the numbers on it. Obviously, he's won a FedEx Cup before, but he does seem to play well this time of year on these courses. I don't know why it is, because they never seem to actually fit him all that much. But I do think Horschel could be a good low-owned GPP play this week. So, I mean, we're talking about a lot of guys, and because we're guessing here on price ranges, so it's kind of hard to sit there and make a whole lot of we're making a lot of assumptions here. But I do think Horschel is going to be one of those guys that's going to be low owned, that's playing well right now. I like Horschel.
I just mentioned DJ, and when you're betting on players to win on the PGA Tour, it's a safe bet that they're using a Fujikura shaft in their back. And DJ is one of those guys. Fujikura is the most played wood shaft on the PGA Tour this season. Ventus is the #1 wood shaft model on the PGA Tour, and they've been used to win on all 3 U.S. tours, the PGA, LPGA, and Champions Tour, including also the European Tour. Notable players using the Ventus Fujikura shaft include DJ, Rory, Jordan Spieth, Adam Scott, Sergio Garcia. Ever heard of them? Thanks. It's the Ventus is available in 3 models with a wide range of weights and flexes, from any golfer to Tour Pro to Weekend Warrior kind of thing. Help golfers find the center of the club face more often for better consistency and distance. The Ventus with Velo Core is the performance standard for club fitters. So check it out. Fujikura Golf. You can find a local fitter at fujikuragolf.com and check them out on Instagram at Fujikura Golf. Appreciate those guys. I actually just put the Ventus Black in my driver the other day because I'm a baller. And first of all, it's a sweet looking shaft. But second of all, if you have a high swing speed, but you can't keep the ball on the planet,
I don't need to worry about a high swing speed.
Yeah. But if you are that person, the Ventus Black is helping DB a ton, keeping me in bounds so far. So, Pat, let's just kind of I don't want to prolong this thing. Let's just kind of start throwing some names out there that are grabbing your attention. I don't care where they're coming from. How about my boy Maverick McNeely continues to play well?
Yeah, good for you.
I don't know that I'm buying McNeely this week. Let's see how it shakes out. He finished 27th, 27th at the Northern Trust. The irons let him down a little bit, so I don't know that I'm necessarily buying him there. But a guy who you mentioned last week that I was not on, but played pretty well and had a chance, honestly, at one point today, but just couldn't really get it going, is Corey Connors.
Yes.
He did what Corey Connors does, which is lose strokes putting and around the green, but that's standard.
He had a great round 3, though. Good Lord.
Dude, he gained 11 strokes ball striking from off the tee to approach. He gained 11 strokes. That is really good, and he currently sits 20th in the FedEx Cup standings. I think Connors is an interesting one. People seem to the shine seems to have worn off a little bit on Connors, so maybe you can catch him at low ownership. So I like him. Who else you got?
What do you think about Jason Kokrak?
Yeah, Kokrak's going to be the hot topic, isn't he? He's 17.
I mean, he's going to be the one that he's the one that everybody probably wishes was 71st. People wish he was 71st in the standings and not 17th, so they wouldn't have to even look at him. But it is going to be. This is a course that he should play well on. Long off the tee.
He's. I mean, if you look at the last two miscuts, this past one, I do think the Northern Trust did suit the Bomber better, as soft as it was, but it definitely wasn't mandatory. The Wyndham, where he missed the cut, was not, not really Jason's forte there. In fact, he lost strokes off the tee at that event, which doesn't happen always.
But how weird is that the Wyndham is not his forte, as you just said?
Because the Wyndham's not built for bombers, and he's a long hitter.
Well, neither is Colonial, where he just won.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he's so frustrating.
He gained over 6 shots off the tee at Colonial. The putter's also gone a little cold for Kokrak, but I mean, in a no-cut event, why not? You get 4 par 5s with Kokrak. You can take advantage of that. I do think this suits him better. So I mean, sure.
I bring him up because I think he's going to be a player that a lot of people will argue about this week, and I am leaning towards playing him.
And actually, when you look at all the strokes gain categories for this week, I mean, obviously it was just 2 rounds because he missed the cut. But when you look at the strokes gain categories, he not one category did he lose 1 full stroke or more. Everything was like half a stroke or a third of a stroke. So he's pretty close to at least being average. He couldn't quite get over the hump. Maybe he got to Cays Valley, got an early peak, and he's ready to make a little bit of a run. Like I said, 17th in the FedEx Cup standings. He is in that Ryder Cup discussion with a chance to possibly make his first Ryder Cup as well. So that you got that working for him. I think, what is he, 15th or something in the Ryder Cup standings? So yeah, I mean, sure. I think you do that. I think you jump on Kokrak.
Here's another guy that I want to talk about, because I got a lot of crap for this guy. So on the opposite end of Matt Wallace, I mentioned Cameron Champ last week as a play that I thought would be
I can't.
But he played well. I mean, 27. He lost strokes putting terribly. Lost 2 strokes putting last week, but gained around the greens, gained over a stroke on approach. Gained off the tee. He always does. I mean, Cam Champ is playing well, and nobody ever wants to play him. I don't know. I think
he did not gain off the tee at the Northern Trust. I don't know what you're looking at. He did not. He actually, which I thought was weird, he lost strokes.
Wait, sorry, I was looking at round 4. Sorry.
Yeah, he lost strokes off the tee for the tournament at the Northern Trust, but he gains over 6 on approach, which is interesting. And he gains stroke putting, which is also interesting for him. That's a possibility. You could talk me into it, I guess. I would be more excited to play one of my favorites, Aussie, Cam Davis, whose irons were not good,
crush,
but he actually goes against what I'm talking about when I say I want the guys who had really good ball striking, because his irons weren't great. But again, Cam Davis with a par 72, 4 par 5s that favors a bomber, no cut. I at least think even if he sucks in terms of tournament finish, he scores you some DraftKings points along the way. So I like Cam Davis. I could see him being a little lower owned as well. I'll roll with him. How about the way Hudson Swafford played this week? Did you happen to take a peek at old Hudson Swafford?
No, I didn't.
Hudson
even know.
Swafford is turning it on right now. Okay, he finished 11th, first of all. For the tournament, gained 7 shots off the tee and gained over 5 on approach. Do the math. That's like 12. That's like almost 13 shots is what he did in ball striking. He lost 3.5 with the flat stick, finished 11th. I couldn't believe how good Hudson Swafford played. And I also can't believe that Hudson Swafford is like where he is in the where is it? Let's see. He's 40th in the FedEx Cup standings, which just shocks the piss out of me. So he's got to make a move this week, and he's coming off a week where he hit it really well. Kind of weird, but Hudson Swafford's like getting me a little bit, I think.
I don't mind that play. Another guy I think that's been, pretty like just coming on lately is Sebastian Munoz. I think he has been really good. I like him. Let me ask you this though. If we're going between like, I don't know what, we'll start at Munoz there at 59 to 70. In that range, who do you think has the best chance to actually make a push to get into the top 30?
That's a great question. I mean, when you're in this range, you have to finish. Probably you have to win, or you have to finish like top 3. I would think to get enough points to boost yourself up there.
The way they do the points, maybe.
I mean, you got to make a big leap.
Yeah, you got to make a big leap. So who do you think is going to make the biggest leap? I don't know what the.
So you're talking chances to win, and I think on this course, Keith Mitchell intrigues me a lot. He had a good week.
That's the one I was looking at.
Long hitter. And that might be it. I think Keith Mitchell, maybe Johnny Vegas.
I think Sebastian. I think because I put him right there at the edge of this range. Sebastian, Vegas, and Mitchell are the 3 that could make the biggest move of that range. And they're going to be 6K plays, I would imagine. Maybe not. Well, I don't know. Maybe Sebastian and Vegas may be low 7K. I don't know. We'll see.
You know who I do like that number 1 is in the Ryder Cup. Well, he's pretty much in the Ryder Cup, but he's 54th in the FedEx Cup standings, and he lost more strokes putting than anyone in the field at the Northern Trust. And that's Paul Casey. Lost nearly 7 strokes putting. 7 strokes putting at the Northern Trust this week. But like Paul Casey does, gained almost 9 in ball striking off the tee and on approach. I think that is, I think that's something to pay attention to. I don't, as bad of a putter as Paul Casey historically is, he's not, to lose 7 strokes is quite a lot. I mean, the last time he lost 7 strokes putting was, you got to go real far. Haven't found it yet. Now he's lost 5. There's 6. There's 5 again. But like it's literally his worst putting performance. I'm now in 2008 on Fantasy National. So it might be his worst putting performance ever. But just at the St. Jude, he gained 7. So he's hit or miss for sure. But the ball striking is always solid for Paul Casey. I think he's an interesting one to look at there. And AC tells us in the chat, you will need 460 points or less from the 70 to 30 range, which is at least a tie for 5th. Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you there.
Yeah. Thank you, AC. We could always count on AC for that kind of stuff.
Why don't we, Pat, why don't we just take some questions?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm happy to do that.
Let's take some questions. If you got questions and you're watching live on YouTube right now, throw them in the chat. And we'll see if we can get to them.
Anything.
And when they're done, we're done. Let's see. I'm seeing some going back. What do we think Corey Connor's price is going to be? Scott Anderson asked that a while ago. I think let's look at Connor's real quick. He's been, what was he last week? 8K? Was he in the 8K? He was 8,300 last week. I still think he's going to find himself. I think he's going to be around that 8.1 to 7.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be high. If he's in the 7s, it'll be very high or low 8, like 8,000. So
Trip says Usti going to be mega chalk. I think he is. I think he's still going to be pretty chalky.
Yeah, I don't think he will be, but that's fine.
Where's let's see where Louis. Well, Louis withdrew pretty early from the Northern Trust, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think he's still going to be pretty chalky. Dylan, this is the question I'm asking.
Chalky is relative this week.
How in the hell is Hudson Swafford 40th in the FedEx Cup standing? I actually don't know. That's what I'm saying. It shocked the hell out of me.
Well, he has a win.
Yeah.
But that immediately brings you, I mean, but that actually makes you think Mickelson, this is how bad Mickelson is. He's 70th, and he won the damn PGA Championship.
And Hudson Swafford won the Corrales, the Punta Cana Corrales.
And Joel Damon won a similar event to the Corrales.
He's hammered right now,
and he's not even playing. So how that just again, Mickelson, how bad you win the damn PGA Championship and you're 70th.
Oh, wait a minute. I got some late breaking information here. I'm going to share this with the podcast and not keep this to the Nut Hut members. We'll give all the rest of the information out of the Nut Hut members. This is what I got from a caddy that saw the golf course today. Soft as shit. Ball plugging in the fairways. There's some mixed thoughts, though. A lot of members think it's going to be low, man. Going to be low. But, man, what I saw today, it ain't easy. It's not an easy course. The fairways are generous, especially being so soft, but it is long. As always, it just depends on how the tour wants to set it up and how much they can dry it out before Thursday. So, to me, that just continues to scream Bomber's Paradise.
Yeah, and it's been, obviously, with the rain they're getting up there right now.
Yep. So, pay attention to that, and we'll get more information. I like this from Charlie Oliver. Both guys give your favorite play this week. I mean, I think I made it pretty clear. I think Bryson DeChambeau wins this golf tournament. And for me to say that is something. Now, I hate to give you a favorite or a guy up there, so I'll give you somebody else here in a second, but I'll let Pat go first.
Well, I'm going to have I have two, really, but I'm going to stick with what I said. I actually think Rory is going to be my favorite play this week. I think I'm going to go all in on Rory. I like doing some different things, too, when we have a no-cut event. And kind of and I have a gut feeling about Rory playing this course well, and if he drives it well, I don't think there are many people that can beat him on this course. So I'm going to go with Rory, but Brooks Koepka is a close second to Rory for me.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely something to think about again with a no-cut event. Just a reminder to leave some salary on the table. I mean, the optimal lineup this week would have saved. You would have had like $2,000 on the board for DraftKings. So leave some salary on the table. I'm not saying you got to do that much, but ownership, definitely have some guys that give you a lot of leverage in terms of low owned guys on DraftKings. I think. Okay, I gave you a guy who I never play in Bryson. Now I'm going to give you a guy that I play a lot. And he was a chalk bomb last week, and that was Scotty Scheffler. And I think he disappointed some folks, finished 43rd. He was up there in ownership. But I like what I saw off the tee. He's a long hitter. He's got a chance sitting 14th in the Ryder Cup standings. He's got a chance to make a name for himself and get the old call from Captain Stricker. And he's 24th in the FedEx Cup. He needs to make a little bit of a move to get himself really positioned nicely for East Lake. I think he's safely in East Lake, but I like the way this golf course sets up for Scotty Scheffler. He's played well in majors, and so if our contact that was on the ground saying like it's going to be tough because it's so long, I think that suits Scotty very well. So I'll be interested in playing some Scotty Scheffler. Our buddy Tripp says, despite an off week, does Neiman intrigue anyone?
I faded Neiman last week, and I think I'm going to continue to fade him. I just don't have much confidence in Neiman right now.
He finished 47th. He gained strokes everywhere but putting, but he didn't gain a lot of strokes this week at the Northern Trust.
I think he's ready for his season to end. I feel
he's
like
definitely a bomber. He is a bomber.
He is, but I just feel like he's...
Well, it ain't going to end because he's 21st in the standings. Like even if he misses the cut, he's probably still in East Lake.
I don't know. Well, yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know that I don't know about Neiman. I would not be afraid to play him if the price is decent and I look on Wednesday and he's like nobody's talking about him. So I'm not necessarily afraid of Neiman.
I disagree. I don't like Neiman. He's the kind of guy that to me is just, it's like early in the year when he was playing so well and he was hot. He hasn't shown anything that, I think he's a streaky player. I think in a limited sample size that we have of Neiman's play year in and year out, he does seem to be a little bit streaky, and I don't think we're in the middle of that streak right now. So
I'll bring up something we haven't talked about in a long time: apex height. Remember that? Remember back in the day we talked about apex.
He have apex height?
I mean, here's the thing: Neiman
he hits the ball low as shit.
Well, I was gonna say he's known for that low stinger, but that doesn't mean he can't get it up, right? Like do a little Roman, take you a little blue chew, and get that bad
Roman. Up. He's a Roman player.
Yeah,
he should get that kind of. He should get.
Do we know that he can't hit it high? Like we know he can hit it low when he wants.
I think he can hit a lot of different shots. I actually like his ball strike.
He is a bomber, but definitely if he's more of that low ball hitter, he's not going to get as much run out of this golf course as he normally does. But I don't know. I'm still okay. Trip also follows. I mean, Trip's the only one in the chat asking questions. Does stars and scrubs make more sense since it's top 70 and no cut? Trip, I think it's both, right? Because you know, in a field like this, everybody's going to kind of gravitate that way, because
I think they will, because
a lot of your win equity is in that 95 and above, and you want to make sure you have the winner. But you can definitely be contrarian and play that balanced lineup, and you just better hold on to your britches and hope that nobody up there in the 9K range or 10K range is going to win this golf tournament, which is unlikely. So I kind of think you have to have some exposure to the guys up top.
I agree, but I think if I want to be risky and feel like I can win a GPP, I want to play a more balanced lineup, because I think everybody in these no-cut events loves to play stars and scrubs because they think immediately. I mean, if you just think, the psychology of it all is, okay, I don't have to worry about it, and not getting 6 of 6 through. So the immediate thought process is, well, I'm going to go stars and scrubs. That's what you're going to do. So for me, I feel like DB said, it's contrarian to go more balanced. That's what I want to do in my GPP lineups. Now, I may not be as balanced as a normal week. Like I may consider a low 9K guy and then kind of build around that instead of some of those higher 10K guys. But I do think you're going to be contrarian that way, and I like to play that strategy this week.
Your favorite Wes Bearden says, does Finau make baby number 16 after today's win? That's really funny.
Charlie, I like Wes. By the way, Wes has been flexing on us all night because he's sitting on a beach somewhere.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Watching the show, which we appreciate you doing that.
Yeah,
while you're watching the show.
Charlie says, do you have the balls to play the ball? I actually have the balls to play Finau after this win. And that's, we talked about that earlier. I think, yes.
You absolutely do. And this, I'm going to talk over you tonight. I'm talking over DB tonight. I'm talking over DB because he talks all the time. Yes, you absolutely play Finau. If you look at the playoffs every year, you see back-to-back winners all the time, or multiple winners or whatever else. So, yes, play Finau. Love it. DB, you can talk.
Whatever. Trip and Scott asking Pat what it's like working with Tim Allen. They say you look like Al Borland.
Okay, whatever.
Boy, Aussie DB says, is RJ announced where he's playing his round of golf? No, I don't think he has. So we'll find out. We'll let you know, and hopefully we can we'll definitely have some content for sure.
Yeah. Content. Thank you, Trip.
Hey, I think that's enough. I think we're good. That's enough for us. We appreciate everybody listening, everybody watching. Get up in the YouTube comments. Who do you think is the name of the bet wheel? We got to have that. More bet punishments if you got some of those ideas. And then
you're glad you're not having to play this week because they're not.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Who you're glad didn't make the top 70 and you don't have to play him this week. Do that. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week for the Tour Championship. Probably one show again next week, I would imagine, just because it's only 30 golfers. So probably one show for both DFS and betting. A little bit of a unique night tonight with no pricing out, no odds out, but we wanted to get it out. We wanted to talk about it. We'll see you in the Nut Hut all the chalk bomb will go out this week as normal. We'll have some content up on tourjunkies.com, the betting cards, all that kind of stuff. So there we go. And producer Sam just said he made a DB massage Bryson gift. So there you go. It's a weird week, but you heard it here. Oh my Lord.
I think I like that. Good job, Sam. We could get some more interesting
play of the week. Oh God. Thanks everybody for the support. We really appreciate it. It's gonna be a fun week. Good tournament. See ya.